And we're back. Peach State Power Hour. That's Andy Stowe. That's Eddie from Acworth. And yes, you are seeing the screen correct. You don't have to adjust your eyes. That is the legend, Paul Maharry.
I don't know about that.
Back here on the Peach State Power Hour. Paul, welcome back. And as our first welcome back to you, I see this in the banners.
Yeah, that's been there for a while.
Paul, give us an update. What's going on, my man?
Man, good to see you guys. Glad to be on with you guys, and hopefully talk some dogs tonight and some Braves. And good to see my boys Andy and Eddie thriving here with the new host Harrison. And a little under the weather, but we'll make it through. We'll push through. We'll survive. So good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for coming back and joining us. I know the comments have been
Alex Page. Look.
Everyone's been waiting for your return. I believe we announced it last week, so people have been asking, where's Paul at? Well, hey, we brought him back. Paul is here. He's back on the Peach State Power where he belongs. Gentlemen, we have a action-packed show tonight. We got 5 segments to get through. We don't have an hour and 23 minutes to get through it. Paul is keeping us on track tonight.
Yeah, I'm not.
Let's go ahead.
I'm bouncing out.
I want to jump in here.
Out in an hour.
Yeah, an hour. I'm surprised it's not 30 minutes. I want to jump in here real quick. First of all, I wore this shirt specifically for 2 reasons. Okay, you guys probably don't know what this means. This is John McEnroe, famous line he uttered back in the 70s. You cannot be serious about a ball being out. U.S. Open. This is also for Paul when he starts his crap. Okay, because he's going to do it tonight. I just pointed at my shirt. Secondly, Paul, thank you so much for coming on. And I want to say this. Let's get the pleasantries out of the way. I first of all, I really appreciate your friendship, getting to know you the past couple of years. And Andy and I would not be sitting here without your help, your leadership, your sponsorship of the show. No, it's absolutely true. So I know I'm speaking for Andy. He agrees. I know he's nodding his head. But thank you so much for everything you've done. And it's really good to see you, Paul. So tell the folks what you've been up to and kind of why you stepped down, if you don't mind me asking, from the POS and from this show, the post-game overreaction show, and the Peach State Power Hour. Please go ahead, explain.
Yeah. So I've been with EJ Sports for over 10 years. Started back when I was, I've been with him, close to 10, 12 years. As long as Roddy's owned EJ Sports, I've been the intern. And I've gotten to do things I never thought I could do. I've been on ESPN before. I've broadcast a game on ESPN. I've done many of segments on 11 Alive and shows on 11 Alive. And then we had 2 kids back to back, and we started a business. And so everything kind of got really crazy really quick. And we're blessed, 2 beautiful kids that are, being taken care of every day by their mom, but that means I got to go to work every day. And so we have really ramped up the business, and it's gotten to a point where it's going really well. So we're doing good, and just kind of had to take a step back. I'm not gone forever, but just had to take a step back for the time being. And it was tough. I called Roddy, I don't know, back in March or April. And, it's all I've known in my adult life pretty much is to do this stuff. So, but to take a step back and just kind of focus on those things and then get back into the fun side of things, which is this, and do that. So appreciate your kind words, Eddie, but let's talk some.
Plug your business, Paul. Plug your business.
With Mainstay Construction, we're a general contractor here in the state of Georgia. We do everything, bathroom remodels, interior, exterior remodels. We do it all, everything around Metro Atlanta. We are a full licensed general contractor. So it took us a long time to get there. We've been in business almost 6 years, and it's been fun.
That is the only free shout out we give over here on the Peach State Power Hour. If you want
else got to pay.
Shout it over here. Everybody else got to pay the money, but Paul, the OG, can get free shout outs whenever he wants it. Paul, to echo the words of Eddie and Andy, like I said, I wouldn't be here on this show with these guys if it wasn't for you helping get this started, get it off the ground. And for
all right, the pleasantries are over.
Yeah.
Can we move on? Because I can see his head is going to be bigger than the screen soon.
Hey, we got a lot, so we're already 4 minutes in. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, gentlemen. It's game week. Georgia plays Marshall on Saturday, 3:30 kick inside Sanford Stadium. I believe it's 3:30. Before we get to Marshall, let's talk the big news of the week. The SEC, starting in 2026, will play a 9-game conference schedule. This has been in conversation, probably dating back to when they started just playing 8 games. They've been playing 8 games since 1992, since the conference was started. Right. Let's start there. Just general reactions to the 9-game schedule and that change in format. Paul, you're back. We're going to let you go first. Paul, what were your reactions to the decision to go to 9 games?
I think it's tough, man. I think you already have a schedule that is full with, you have Georgia Tech, right? Which is they're a really good team. They will be this year again. I know I tooted that horn a lot last year on Peach State Power Hour. I think it will come to fruition this year. And we saw it last year. They took Georgia to 8 overtimes, So I think it's really tough. And I don't know what this is the first domino, I think, that falls in the course of ACC is going to have to do it, that we're also going to have to see playoffs expand. The whole game that we've kind of known to grow and love has not gone by the wayside, but it's evolved, and it's evolved very rapidly since COVID, pretty much. And so everything is changed since then in the last 5 years. And this is another one of those things. It's all really about money. And ESPN wants 9 games. They're paying a lot of money. They want 9 conference games. And with that is going to come some losses. You're not going to see that in 2030. I guarantee you the Ohio State Georgia game, you're not going to see that, which would have been amazing to see. You're never going to see another Ohio State Texas like we're going to see in week 1 to open the season. Clemson LSU, that game's going to that wouldn't be existing had we had 9 games scheduled. So it's tough, man, because this first week, like, all these amazing games that are out of conference that we're not going to get, I don't think, later on down the road. And it sucks.
Well, what if in the first week we get Georgia versus Alabama?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that could be the devil's advocate way of looking at it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could, because so for the people that don't know, there's going to be 3 permanent teams that they'll play. So Georgia will have 3 permanent SEC opponents, and then they'll rotate the others. And they will play every team in the conference at least every 2 years, and they'll go to the other team's stadium every 4 years. Georgia has not been to Texas A&M since Texas A&M has been in the SEC since 2012. So that's pretty cool. Kyle Field, I mean, Texas A&M's whatever, but it's cool to go to Kyle Field. But so, Paul, if they do play the 3 permanent, whoever that will be, we can discuss that. But how do you feel about the Tech game? Will that still be there, or do you think they have to play another Power 4 or another Power 4 game? Will it be Tech every year, or do you think they start doing some rotational Tech, Clemson, whoever?
No, I think you keep that Tech game, and it's easy to keep that Tech game, right, as your as your Power 4 out of conference game. You keep the Tech game, you keep it moving. I think that's the easy way right there.
Here's my question. Does the Tech game get moved? Like, where in the schedule does the SEC add this conference game? Do you add it to the beginning of the year, or do you add it to the end of the year? I think, in my opinion, I don't think you want to put it at the back end, because there are other teams in the SEC, like in South Carolina, that has that Clemson game during hate week. Like, I don't think you add it to the end of the year to mess that up. Now, with a 9th game, you're not going to see Georgia playing Charlotte in November anymore, which I think we can all agree is nice. Nice to go ahead and get rid of those Charlottes, those Charleston Southern, the games in late November where you're just like, man, I wish we kind of got these out of the way in September.
I could still see that happening, because I could see Georgia opening with Texas A&M first week of the season. The second week of the season, they would play a cupcake, and then they would have a cupcake before Georgia Tech the last week of the year. So I could see that. I could still see that scheduling that way.
I think what Andy said they'll probably try to do with this 9 game is make week 1. Yeah. Week 1's going to be Georgia, Alabama. It's going to be Texas, maybe not Texas, Oklahoma, but Texas, Tennessee. It's going to be these high class top 25 programs battling out week 1 because they want their share of the TV. That's what they want.
Yeah. So let's drill down on that real quick. So we got 3 permanent teams. I think the consensus is generally that it's Florida and Auburn, right? We all can kind of agree on that. The third one's kind of up in the air. But Paul, I want to ask you, so who do you want the 3 to be, and who do you realistically think the 3 should be? Because that's 2 different things in my mind. I can tell you right now, if it was my choice, I'd take Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and Kentucky all day long. Right. I know that doesn't sound sexy, but you're adding 6 games there with the SEC, so it's tough. But realistically, I think it's going to be Auburn, Florida, probably Kentucky, But go ahead, Paul.
I think Florida, Auburn, and then, I mean, from a fan perspective, you would like to see that Tennessee rivalry continue to be there. I don't think it's going to be Tennessee. I think they have enough built-in opponents as well. Probably South Carolina. I mean, but also, who does Kentucky have? Well, like as their
Kentucky
built
would
in.
Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and South Carolina is who I think they'll get because
Yeah,
of the.
so-
I'm kind of basing it off of geographical areas. Is sort of how I'm lumping it in.
But I would like to see Tennessee as that third team, but it also at that point Tennessee is and South Carolina is getting better, right? But they also have a generational quarterback in Lenora Sellers.
Right.
Tennessee has withstood the hands of time, and they're a top program. I think you would much rather it be South Carolina than Tennessee, just for your scheduling purposes, because you get Florida, Auburn, and Tennessee, and that's your three that you're locked into. Those are three tough teams every year. It doesn't matter what happens. Everybody's calling that game in Auburn a loss for Georgia. They don't even really have a great team this year, and people are calling that a loss. Think about once they get good again. Florida, once they get good again, Tennessee, like those are three tough opponents. I think you would like to have South Carolina if you could as that third, or hell, even at Kentucky.
I think it'll be South Carolina as well. I just think the geographical location, I think that gives Georgia a team in Florida, a team in Alabama, and a team in South Carolina. I think it just sort of loops the whole area. So that's who I think it'll be as well.
It does get interesting when you talk about
to be. Who would you want it to be, Andy?
I would rather it stay Tennessee, just because.
I'd rather it be Mississippi State, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had to pick.
But yeah, but
Yeah.
we're talking about playing. If you want to see good games, I mean, you're not wanting to see Georgia.
Oh,
play.
but that's we got to look.
You're
at
going to
this
see
from-
the good
I'm
games in the
sorry,
other
my
states.
eyes are red and black. I'm looking at it that way. That's why I want the three to be patsies. I call them patsies. I'm sorry, but you
Well,
are Kentucky,
Vanderbilt.
Mississippi
Yeah, we
State,
can
and
Vanderbilt.
right?
I'm
I mean,
with you.
with the expansion here, that's what you want to see. I understand you don't want to see that as a fan. I want to see Tennessee. I agree with you, Paul, but that's a difficult game. I'm nervous about doing that this year, right? Already. So that's why I asked you guys as two different things. Who do you want? Who do you realistically think it's going to be? Harrison?
I realistically, I think it's probably going to be Auburn, Florida, and one of Kentucky, South Carolina. I mean, when you talk about obviously the rivalry with Tennessee's been here for a while. It's been back and forth. Georgia's dominated over the years. Like there is that competitive nature of like, hey, we want to beat Tennessee every year. But when you talk about an Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, that's one of the hardest permanent 3-game opponents in the conference. I pulled up the article. Andy Staples predicted who he had each team in 3 opponents. I mean, the only ones tougher. He had Auburn, Florida, and Kentucky for Georgia. The only ones more difficult, I look at the ones that he has predicted. Alabama, he has Alabama playing Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard 3. Hard 3.
Who did he have? Texas? Did he have Oklahoma, Texas A&M?
I think that's going to – I think Alabama is going to play Auburn. They got to play Auburn, right? They got to play Tennessee. That's the 3rd October.
And LSU.
The 3rd Saturday in October, right? And they always play LSU. That's like their big rival. So I think that's going to happen unless Sankey's like, well, this is unfair to Bama. We got to do something to help out Bama, and you could see that happening, right?
Who did he have for Florida? Who was their – was it LSU, Georgia, and South Carolina?
Florida is Georgia, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. The Oklahoma one's interesting to me. I'm
not.
They're
going to play Tennessee.
Nah, why wouldn't it be LSU?
I don't understand that one.
Yeah, it's got to be LSU. There's no way it's permanently Oklahoma.
Well, I guess the problem you run into is you get these permanent matchups, and they're all really good teams. Who do the bad teams have the permanent matchups with? Yeah. You have to balance it. You have to give
Vanderbilt. Let's see who would they would get Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina,
Tennessee, Auburn, and Mississippi State. At least per Staples.
Yes, some of these just don't make sense. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting.
It will, and I think we will know for sure over the next few months. I think they'll probably end up doing a schedule release mid-season. I wouldn't be surprised come October if they have an SEC Network special where they release the schedule and they announce those permanent opponents. But let's turn our heads to actual football set to be played this weekend. Georgia versus Marshall. I don't even have to ask who y'all think are going to win this game unless someone doesn't want to be serious, as Eddie's shirt says. Gentlemen, let's just talk about kind of what we want to see from Georgia this weekend. I think number one, numero uno. I don't want to see a word about a slow start on the damn dog vent. I don't want to see the meltdown that will ensue if Georgia punts on its first drive of the season versus Marshall.
Boy.
Well, Paul, if they do punt on that first drive,
I might join Paul in retirement.
Does Bobo get the short end of the straw that quick?
No. Oh yeah, I mean the Boo Birds will be out heavily. We lost Harrison.
Now keep on going.
No,
Good.
Go ahead. He's
Oh,
good.
He's okay. All right. I was gonna say, whoa, we're really taking this back, boys. Put me back in the top left and put Andy up there with me, and we'll ride this thing.
Yeah.
I don't have control now. I can't move it around. We were stuck.
It's blowing your mind, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I mean, the spread's out 39.5, boys.
Yeah.
It seems a little stout.
Seems
like a little money on
Do
Marshall.
y'all think that we'll go around the room? Do you think they cover that, Paul?
No.
I mean, Harrison, no.
That would be 50,
we're all in agreement.
That would be 50-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to put the hat back on. My bad. So it would be 50-10 if they cover that spread. That's crazy.
Georgia doesn't do that. They don't do that.
I can see 45-10. I can see 45-10. I don't see 52-10. I just can't.
I guess the thing that my number one thing you want to look out of this is Fred F made a good point. No injuries. You don't want to see any injuries in this game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to see something out of the offense. They've been talking so much about the new wide receivers and running backs. Nate Frazier is in his second year. I really want to see what this offensive line can do. I'm not the biggest fan of it right now, but let's show me. And then, honestly, Gunner's show me something too.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been in this offense for a long time. This is your game. This is your game to go out and drop 20 of 26 and 300 yards and 60 on the ground and show people, because it sounds like the team has his back. It definitely sounds like they have a leader in him, but show us you can go out there and produce. This is your time to do that.
Yeah, that's how I want to see the offense and the defense, not just the offense. I want to see the defense be strong. I want to see some quarterback pressures. I want to see some sacks, but I do want to see Gunner go out and maybe not 20. 20 for 26 or whatever. I'd like to see him maybe throw 15, 20 passes and get out. But he needs 65 to 70% completion. He needs to run the ball good, and he needs to lead the drives. I want to see the big wide receivers are talking about make some plays, and let's see some grading off that offensive line. If Juan Gaston starts, if he's that guy at right guard, let's see him put some guys in the dirt. I want to see a dominating offensive performance. That way, we know in a couple of weeks we have something.
Well, Harrison, you asked the question, what do you want to see? Here's what I want to see. I want to see 35-3 at halftime and the starters yucking it up on the sidelines while the backups are in there. That's what we saw basically. Exactly. That was my point, Paul. That when was the last time we saw that? We didn't see it at all last year.
National
I think yeah, exactly. They were eating wings on the sideline during the game. So that maybe you might be right, Andy. That might be the last time we saw something like that. But this is where this team has got to do those types of things for the future. Okay. And it sounds silly to say that, but you've got to have those guys like Ryan Puglisi in the second half getting those reps, because Gunner had none of that last year. I mean, he had some garbage time here and there, but it was almost nothing. Excuse me. And then Carson Beck gets hurt, and we're like, oh my God, here comes Gunner. He's got to come in and save the day. And he did a pretty good job, but you got to have those reps. We've got to see that this year to develop that that depth, excuse me.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule from last year. The only game where they led by that much at halftime was Tennessee Tech, and that was the game where Carson threw 5 touchdowns.
How much time did Gunner get in that? What was his Gunner stat line on that?
Gunner completed 10 of his 12 passes for 90 yards in that game, and I think he took over midway through the third quarter.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, and I think that might have been
that was it.
I think that might have been the only game. Hold on, let me pull up his game log that he played in before this championship.
Yeah,
because we were close in every game. They never got it. They were never able to get him in there.
Yep. It was that game, 48-3, and then he didn't play again until November versus UMass, where he threw 4 passes.
4 passes.
4 passes. That's it. Wow.
And to see what he did, if that's the case, if he had basically 20 passes total for the year, and he came in and won the SEC championship game, and he played very well in that game versus Notre Dame. He was not the reason we lost the game. So if he did that with only 20 attempts throughout the year, that's pretty impressive. So that gives us something that we can actually look at and think, okay, we got something here.
All right, let's talk real quick about some of the position battles and our expectations before we move on. to our next few segments. I think in terms of the most interesting one, I think everyone's been paying attention to the defensive back room because you got two primary holes there in terms of the people want to see filled. Who's the corner opposite of Dalen Everett, and who's the safety opposite of KJ Bolden? I've long said, I think we've talked about on the show, usually to start the year, the nod goes to the veteran. Nod goes to the guy with seniority. The nod goes to the guy who's been there the longest. So the safe bet is your Daniel Harris and your Ja'Cory Thomas. But if you've been paying attention to the notes over on the dog vent, you'd know they are facing real competition in Ellis Robinson, Zion Branch, Adrian Maddox. Like, Georgia has some dudes competing at these spots. I mean, where are y'all at in terms of what do y'all expect to see out of those, like at those two positions from DB in game one? I know it's tough because it's Marshall, but this is kind of your first look at kind of these battles since the spring.
Paul?
Oh man, I'm not used to answering the questions. I normally don't. I just ask them, and then I tune out for several minutes while these two answer the question. I come back and ask another one. Wow. Okay.
To the other side of the microphone.
Andy, you notice how he said he tunes out? Isn't that great? We give all the responses and he just tunes it out. So
yeah, I
that's
couldn't
wonderful.
tell you. I would be very surprised. Like you said, Harrison, if Ellis Robinson is out there first snap against Marshall. And now, do I think he takes over at some point? Yes. If Daniel Harris isn't out there, I mean, hey, we thought Ellis Robinson was going to be that dude, right? There's videos of him, the ones against Jeremiah Smith at 7-on-7, locking him down. Yeah, that he probably should be that guy. But like you said, I just don't know if I see him out there snap one. The other safety position, I think that's going to be a rotational problem as the season progresses. You're going to have a guy shine. You're going to have a guy get beat deep, so he gets taken out for the rest of the game. Another guy gets thrown in. I don't know if somebody's ever going to emerge from that other second safety spot. But you'll get plays from guys. But to think you're going to have like another guy step in there like KJ Bolden and just lock down a safety spot, I don't know if there's another guy that's on the roster right now.
Who do you think it is then, Paul? Is it Ja'Cory Thomas? Just
probably
seniority and
seniority and I think there's a fine line you have to walk as a coach now to where you have to at least. Mark Richt was really bad about rewarding seniority, and if you stayed around, you were going to play no matter who you were. Joe Cox, it didn't matter, right? I think you have to, in this NIL age, you have to reward the seniority a little bit. If for instance, Ellis Robinson and Harris, if there's a slight chance that younger kid's better, let the older kid go out there and play and lose his spot because he's at least stuck around because Lord knows he could play at 90 other schools right now, but he decided not to transfer. So I think you have to do that way.
Well, let me argue it on the other side. What if you are Ellis Robinson and you say, I know I am better than this guy. I've been outperforming him, but they're only letting him play because of the seniority. I think Ellis Robinson's going to be the starter. I think he goes out first snap. And just from reading stuff, on the board and seeing the videos that all the guys are posting on the dog event. But I think Ellis Robinson, I think he's going to be the first. I think he's going to be on the field the first snap. If not, I think he will get the bulk of the snaps throughout the game. I think he will have more snaps than Daniel Harris.
Look at Eddie tuning out.
Yeah, Eddie's tuning out.
I'm not tuning out.
What do you think, Eddie?
Well, it was your turn to go. We're kind of in a roundtable scenario here, and you were the next in line. And
well, he didn't kick it to me. He didn't say my name. He just kind of threw it out there.
Eddie from Acworth, you're up.
Usually, okay.
You cannot be serious.
Well, yeah, you cannot be serious. Well, he didn't say my name, so I thought it was kick to Paul. I'm sorry. I agree with you, Andy. I think it's going to be Ellis Robinson. I agree with you, Paul. I think it's going to be Ja'Cory Thomas at that other safety. But the whole key to me is the defensive backs even matter. It's the pressure up front, and we're going to get to that, the defensive line, because they could make the defensive backs basically irrelevant. I'll put in quotes, okay, if they get the pressure that we've needed since Jalen Carter and Jordan Thomas left our stadium. That's what I think the key is going to be.
All right, next up, we'll go to this next one, and then we'll move on, because I think we've kind of talked about the offensive line, defensive line. I think we're all of the opinion you'll probably see some rotation in terms of those, but here's the real interesting one. This is a question Eddie posed to Aaron Murray a few weeks ago. Who is the second running back on the field Saturday behind Nate Frazier? Who is it? That's been a competition. Georgia has a ton of names. You got a Josh McCray from the portal. You have the return of Roderick Robinson. You have a Chauncey Bowens. You have a Dwight Phillips. Who is the second running back to get on the field Saturday versus Marshall?
It's the easiest.
Paul,
this is the easiest question you've given, Harrison, and you didn't even name the guy.
Oh shit! Oh, Cash Jones.
It's Cash Jones, dude.
Cash money.
Wait, wait. Okay, you better defend this because I'm gonna push back hard on this. Go ahead. Let's say. I think it all depends, right? If it's 3rd and 8, it's probably Cash Jones. If it's 3rd and 2, you telling me Cash Jones is coming in the game?
Hold on. The question you asked. The question. I got to draft a kicker real quick, boys.
Oh my god!
All right, I'm done.
You just do whatever you need to do.
No, I'm done. That was my final pick. No, the question was who is the second running back to come in the game. It wasn't who's the second best running back. It was who's the second running back.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That was my question.
The question posed from Harrison was who is the second running back to come in the game. The second running back to come in the game is going to be Cash Jones.
You know, I just went back to last year's game log. It was Branson Robinson last year.
Was it?
Hey, look, Branson's a really good kid, man. I hope he balls out at Georgia State, man.
Sure.
I hope he does.
We're all rooting for him. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks how it ended here at Georgia with the injuries and things like that. But I remember, and this is probably when Harrison was still in diapers. He was Branson Robinson.
First age joke on this show.
My God.
Yeah, like this was like 2 weeks ago. I saw Branson Robinson. No, I'm kidding. I remember Branson Robinson showed up to the Rivals camp in Atlanta, and he showed up a little late. He had to come from where's he
Mississippi.
From?
It was Mississippi.
Yeah. He shows up, dude, built like a brick shit house.
Yes.
And everybody's like, "Yo, that's Branson Robinson?"
I remember that.
And then he comes out and runs a 40, and we're like, "Yo, this kid is legit." Hope it all works out for him. Side note there. Anyways, Cash Jones, yeah. But to be more serious about your question, Harrison, I would. Oh boy, Roderick Robinson.
That's not a bad call. I mean, honestly, Paul, that's not a bad call if it's 3rd and 8.
It's going to be scenario based. Yeah, it'll be scenario based.
Scenario.
Yeah.
That's
I think the question you're trying to get at here, Harrison, is where does there's 100% of snaps at running back. Where does it fall? And I think Nate Frazier probably gets 50% of those. Cash probably gets 20% of those.
Okay.
So you're at 70, and then you have 30% left over for Phillips, Bowens, Rob, and McCray. I think that's probably what it boils down to.
Well, also, what if it's 3rd and 8? Could that guy be Dylan Bell?
I don't think you have enough. You have enough guys in the backfield now to where you don't have to rotate him you don't have to do all that crazy stuff. Just keep him at wide receiver, let him play wide receiver, and excel at that.
But come on, Paul. Bobo's too predictable. Why can't he be a little crazy?
I'm saying, let him be a Swiss Army knife. Let's do it.
That's sarcasm.
They tried it last year, and it wasn't great.
That was out of necessity, though.
Wide receivers.
That Swiss Army knife was like a rubber. It wasn't even like you try to cut into something.
It was a Swiss Army knife you give to a kid.
Yeah, it was a kid's Swiss Army knife. Yeah. You couldn't do any damage with it.
Andy.
Well, I want to say this real quick about what Kirby Smart has said at his press conference, because I don't know if you were there, Harrison, but he was asked about that. You know, how McCray's coming along, how Rod Robinson's coming along, and they're seen as that back that can get those 1 to 2 tough yards, right? When it's 4th and 1, you put in Rob. When it's 3rd and 2, you put in Josh McCray. And Kirby basically punted on that. He said he basically said, hey, I had Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry could get those short yards too, but he could bounce it outside and get 50 yards on you real quick. And then he went back to Dejon Edwards, and he said that guy was 190 pounds, and he could get you those 2 yards, right? Yeah. So Kirby, you, Paul, Andy, and Harrison, we all put those running backs in these holes, right? Okay, big body guy. And Kirby said, I don't do that at all. So, but Paul raises a good point. It very well could be Cash Jones to get that 4th and 1, 3rd and 1 when we're up against Marshall. Who knows, right?
If it's Cash Jones and it's a 3rd and 2 and they run a halfback draw,
Something
boy.
true. Yeah.
Paul's gonna be on the vent. Paul's gonna be on the vent.
If it's 3rd and 2, it will not be Cash Jones.
But you know,
No,
but
I
you
agree
know,
with you. I agree.
but
with
you know,
Unless it's a pass.
But look, what'll happen though is Gunner will see it. He'll see that he's got the run option there, and he's gonna audible it past Jones, or he's not gonna get it, and then everybody's gonna blame Bobo because Cash Jones was in on 3rd and 2. That's what's gonna happen.
Right.
Hey, talk about.
But Andy, you brought up a good point in some of our texts. You know, the different aspect you got here is Gunner, and he could pull that ball on that end that's crashing in. That did that all last year against Carson Beck because there was no threat of the run. Gunner offers that right there, right?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we went.
No, wait. Paul's objecting. Let's hear it.
Will Kirby let them do that?
Why wouldn't he?
Why? Yeah. Why would you not want him to run the ball? Because if not, you're just going to have a.
Don't tell me he's afraid of injury like Raheem Morris. I mean, please, for the love of God.
Oh,
I'm not saying he is. I'm saying
Eddie, we got 2 segments to get through before we get to that.
I'm just saying, are you okay with him doing that?
Yes.
Stetson
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's how he's designed. That's what he's built for, Paul.
Yeah.
That's what he knows.
Just asking. I'm just asking.
Every time Eddie goes, that's what he's built for, Paul. I just hear Paul Feimel. Come on, Paul.
That's right.
Come on, Paul.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, let's get through our next segment because we still got a few things to get through tonight. Andy Stowe.
I'm not staying past 8:30, by the way.
Okay.
We're on a timesheet. We gotta roll through. We got a Georgia high school football scoreboard. Andy, I know you put one of these in here for our guest Paul.
I did.
I'll let you run through the scores of the week. What you found interesting?
Okay, so the Fighting Paul Maharrys from Monroe area, they beat up on Cedar Shoals 41-0. Like Paul, were y'all good when you were there?
No, we were 0-20 my junior and senior year, but they had us in 4A.
Did you play quarterback by any chance?
No, I didn't play at all. I played basketball.
I know you're a basketball player because you got posterized in Hartwell, but yeah,
Damn.
he did. There's a poster.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the Hart County yearbook, Harrison.
Yes,
he's proud of it. Actually,
I'll have to go track it down.
You don't get a chance to get dunked on very often in a game.
I'd be happy with that.
That's true.
But Oconee County, they beat Clark Central 14-0. So that's a big bounce back from Oconee County after the week before. They played North Oconee played Dalton and beat them 56-7. I mean, they murdered them.
Big time win right there.
Yeah.
North Oconee something.
They're a powerhouse. Buford beat Benedictine. Everybody said that 42-14.
I'm guessing that's Roddy, yeah? That's got to be Roddy. No, that's you.
That was
talking about the year that Eddie was born. I don't know. And
there
Grace,
it is. Got to get the age joke in.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's 75, Eddie. That's good, dude. You look good.
So, but Buford is number 2 in the Georgia, and then Grayson number 1. They beat Raven Gap. They beat them 24-19, and Raven Gap
that was closer than I expected, especially after Grayson beat Collins Hill week 1, and I think gave up like 3 yards or something like that. I mean, it was crazy.
They did. So that's some of the local teams around here.
That Grayson game, Trent was there for our recruiting stuff. Not only does that man bring the lightning and thunder, as he said on Twitter, but apparently that dude just attracts good football games. Did not have that, like y'all said, being close as it was. I mean, I think that game was tied going into the fourth quarter, if I remember correctly. Great football game over there at Raven Gap. The Fighting Paul Maharrys, 41-0 win over there, over Cedar Shoals.
Yeah, Alex, I know Stefan very, very well. Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, Andy. I was trying to pop a joke, and
all right.
Paul saw it during your segment. Let's talk dogs in the NFL. We talked high school. We talked college. Let's talk the dogs in the NFL. A couple shout outs of the weekend. First, I want to lead this off before I turn it over again to Andy and Eddie. Go ahead and give the shout out to Stetson Bennett. Dude had played so well this preseason, didn't have to play in the final preseason game. I think that speaks volumes about where Stetson's at over there in LA. They had Dresser win playing all 4 quarters of that football game for the Rams. So,
which
props
he
to
just got
Ben on
released,
hell of
by the
preseason.
way. I don't know who Dresser Wynn is. I saw he got released. That's got to really suck. Go out there and play 4 quarters of football, get smacked around, and then they're like, the next day they're like, all right, dude, we'll see you later.
Well, it's like Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci posted that photo. You know,
drinking the
beer
airport
after
beer.
your 7th. Yeah, the airport beer after your 7th NFL preseason cut.
Yeah. Hey, keep living the dream, man. Or we'll have to give up on it, and I won't go there. Never mind.
Andy, any standout performances from y'all?
Well, I just before you get to it, I just wanted to ask you guys: do y'all think Stetson's going to win that backup too? Because it's right now it's Jimmy Garoppolo, according to Sean McVay, but that could change. And Stetson's done. Jimmy's hardly paid. Garoppolo's hardly played in the preseason. So I mean, we're all rooting for Stetson, right? And I mean, Stafford's pretty old. He's had some back injuries. There's no telling when the number 2 quarterback could come in. Is Stetson going to play this year?
Oh, that's a good question. Do we see Stetson Bennett in a regular season game for the Rams?
Over under 0.5 games Stetson Bennett plays.
God, that's tough. Let's take the over for the hometown kid.
Yeah, I'm going to go over on that. I agree.
So. And I think the reason Stetson's playing as much as he is because they know what they have in Jimmy Garoppolo. They know who he is, so they're probably trying to see what Stetson can do.
Yeah, a career backup that is not going to move the needle for your team. Stetson Bennett's going to go out there and sling that thing around.
Yeah, he definitely is. But
and he's already done that. He balled out in that preseason game too, right?
Oh, we're talking about preseason now, balling out in preseason.
I understand, but you got to put something out there. I mean, that's the only tape they have. So you can knock it all you want, but he did what he needed to do. So
yeah,
I think long term,
and also the caveat to that is he's playing with scrubs, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the best offensive line in front of him. He doesn't have the best wide receivers, and he won the damn game. So I give him credit. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I think long term they're giving him every chance to kind of grow in that starting role. I don't know if he'll be at that to say like, hey, they're already dead set on Stetson being their successor. Like they have the chance to take a quarterback in the first round. I think they're going to do it. I mean, they almost took Jackson Dart. They wanted to take Jackson Dart this year in the draft. But I think they're giving Stetson a chance in the event that he does have to become the starter at some point down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
a few other shout-outs.
Yeah. So Trevor Etienne, he plays for Carolina. They got beat by Pittsburgh, but Trevor Etienne had 3 carries for 26 yards. He actually had a 28-yard long, so clearly he had 2 other negative plays. But he had a kick return for 18 yards, so that's pretty good game. And then say that again.
Is he going to make the team?
I would think so. I would think he would be the 3rd back. I
think he's probably close. I mean, they have a stacked running back room in Carolina. They have they're top heavy in terms of they got 2 potential starters, but I assume with him on special teams, he might get it.
That's kind of what I think he'll be, a situational guy. But then Tennessee Titans beat Minnesota Vikings 23-13. But Chaz Chambliss, who plays for Minnesota, he had 9 total tackles and 6 were solo and 1 tackle for a loss. So that's impressive. Chaz Chambliss, he's become a really good player. So
I think I saw somewhere, and I might be wrong, Vikings moved him to middle linebacker.
The middle linebacker?
I think.
Okay. And Alex team did ATN play. He's with the Carolina Panthers. So, but then Green Bay Packers beat Seattle Seahawks 20-7. But McCole Hardman, he's with Green Bay and he's still holding it down. He had a carry for 14 yards. He had a catch for 3 yards, and he had a punt return for 10 yards. So, hey, he's still holding it down. How many years has McCole been in the league now? That's 8. Is that right?
8. Yeah, about 8.
Yeah, that's
got multiple Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, that's an impressive. That's an impressive
MVP
career. Yeah.
Dinner with Taylor Swift multiple times. I mean,
got to keep it up. That would be the bad thing. But then the Dolphins beat the Jaguars 14-6. Channing Tindall had 6 tackles and 2 assists. Dude's balling out. And the Ravens beat the Redskins 30-3. Lawrence Cager had 2 catches for 19 yards. So
Lawrence Cager's still holding on.
Still
Come on, kid.
Dude was great on those back shoulder fades. God,
he won 2 games for Georgia.
Yeah, he was
That's
good.
exactly right.
Love that guy. Yeah, those are the guys we got this week in the dogs in the NFL.
Well, this is the point in the show where me and Andy just take a back seat and let the steel cage match that's about to erupt for the next 2 segments just happen. We're talking the Atlanta Falcons up next.
He's got a baseball. He's going to throw that at me, isn't he?
I wish you have no idea how I wish I could put this through the screen.
I know. I know.
We'll start with this one, and I know Eddie put this on the show sheet. He was ready for a fight. Michael Penix didn't play one snap in the preseason. Meanwhile, two or three time defending Super Bowl winner Patrick Mahomes played some, or 3 Super Bowls, however many. Thoughts on, because I know we talked about it last week, and I was alone in the camp of I don't care if they play or not, but I know Andy and Eddie were opposite of me. Paul, what are your thoughts on preseason and starters playing in preseason?
I don't know about so what you're asking, starters in preseason. I feel like a lawyer or something, and really digging into your questions. Starters in preseason, I'm okay with them sitting, in the sense that if they're veteran guys, right? Like, you don't need to see Caleb McGarry, which he got hurt, but you don't need to see him. You don't need to see Jake Matthews. He's been at left tackle for 14 years, right? We do kind of need to see the quarterback that only played 3 games.
Yeah.
Like, we do kind of need to see that. Now, do I think that the Chiefs are idiotic for playing Patrick Mahomes as much as they did? Yeah, absolutely. Unless Patrick Mahomes is like, I want to play, like, there's no reason to put him out there. We need to see Michael Penix, though. The team, like, we need to see him in live, even if it's just going out there and getting into the motions of calling a play into the team and doing it with at least some fans in the crowd to where there's some stadium noise. Like, yes, we need to see him out there with Drake London and Bijan and all those guys. Now, I get it. Your offensive line, if I'm saying, hey, we want to see Michael Penix, then we would probably want to see the first team offensive line. Right. And that might be some pushback as to why we're not seeing Penix. Is Jake Matthews is like, I'm not saying this is what he's doing, but he could be like, guys, I've been around for 14 years. I'm not playing preseason.
Yeah.
Well, then you kind of maybe rethink that and to say, all right, well, we're not going to throw Penix out there to the Wolves, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we need to see him out there. We're not going to. We didn't. And we saw it last year. Kirk Cousins didn't play in preseason. I went to that Steelers game. It was god awful. It was bad. It was just bad football. The team wasn't cohesive. Probably could have gotten a little bit of cohesion in the preseason with that team. So not seeing Penix, I think he's going to be a really good quarterback, but I think this kind of hurts his development in a little ways, if you're asking me.
Eddie?
Well, I agree with you, Paul. So there's not going to be fireworks here. I mean, it's a
you picked the wrong segment, Harrison.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Harrison was the one that said he didn't care about preseason and big deal. He didn't play, but I'm with you 100%. I mean, he's got 3 starts in his NFL career. That's all we've got to see of Michael Penix, right? Now, I think you raised some good points there, Paul, where the Bijan Robinson's not out there. Drake London's not out there. Kyle Pitts is not out there. The offensive line is not out there. So I can see from that aspect where you don't play Michael Penix, but it all comes down to game 1 against Tampa Bay. If they go out there, and I'll keep saying it, like they did last year, they score 12 points and you lose 22-12, which has seemed like what we did all year last year. The first question to Raheem Morris is going to be, well, do you regret not playing your guys in the preseason? And he's going to say, no, it's a process. We know what we're doing. Y'all are idiots. Shut the hell up. We love this team. We're all about it. It's all Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank has still got PTSD from Michael Vick getting hurt back in 2000, whatever that was, when he broke his leg in a preseason game, and it all boils down to that. That's all it is. It's Arthur Blank making these calls, and it's the wrong call because Penix should be getting reps in the preseason. Period. Point blank. I don't want to hear about practice time and pushing around with Tennessee at Flowery Branch. He got some reps. That's crap. It's ridiculous.
I'm with you. I think he needs to play. I think they'll lose to the Bucs the first week. They're not going to be ready. They're just going to be
that
out.
That game's going to tell us everything, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to be out of sync and they're going to lose. And I'm worried it's going to be the same old Falcons. And with Caleb McGarry out now, I mean, it's going to be tough without having your right tackle.
That's a big deal. And your
backup, Storm Norton.
Correct.
Norton's out too,
and with Penix being a lefty, that's your blind side. So
I've never looked at the waiver wire for the NFL on cuts so closely as I have with McGarry being out, because they've got to go find a right tackle. They have to.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
I will say, And I can definitely see in terms of having the young quarterback makes you want to go see him out there play in the preseason. In terms of like how this is all going to shape out, I guess the one thing, if it makes you feel better, it probably doesn't, because obviously this is a more veteran team. But the Bucs have not played any of their starters in the preseason. Now, again, we're talking about guys who've been there and done that. Mike Evans doesn't need to play. Levante David doesn't need to play. Baker Mayfield doesn't need to play.
No.
In the preseason. But I do understand, like, hey, I think Paul brings up a good point in terms of the offensive line. Like, if you're going to put your starting quarterback out there, you probably want his protectors out there with him, which is a good point. And then I think Eddie brought up the great point last week in terms of maybe it isn't the coaches, maybe it's coming from above in terms of why the Falcons have repeatedly not played their starters in the preseason. I think that's a great point. Made me think about it a little bit harder in terms of why this continues to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Gentlemen, well, we failed there. Let's go to this fifth and final segment, the Braves.
We didn't fail. That was a good discussion. I mean, we don't have to
failed
beat
in
each other
terms
up
of
every
conflict and controversy.
time.
We'll go to
Paul
the Braves.
knows if I bowed up to Paul, he'd shrink into a little baby about that big. He knows that.
We got a little
That's
under
your
15
only
minutes
weapon,
before Paul opts out on us. Let's talk about the Braves. Not much is new in terms of the Braves. Still not really talking playoff contention.
No.
Still talking about maybe some players getting hot when season's already over. But I'm still, and this is the point of contention that I will pose tonight in terms of who stays and who goes this offseason.
Oh, if it was up to Eddie, we'd sell the whole team and we'd be the Gwinnett Stripers next year. It's the truth. We have a text thread, and he said trade every.
Here we go. Just put my personal shit out there. Here we go.
He said trade everybody that has worn.
No, that is absolutely. I'm gonna jump in right now. I said if somebody calls about a player, you listen.
Yeah,
that's all. If somebody calls about Ronald Acuna tomorrow, you listen. And look at it. He's started. You listen. I didn't say trade everybody. That's ridiculous for you to say that. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
No, but you just said you listen to trade offers.
Yes.
Ronald Acuna?
Absolutely, I'd listen.
I said listen to.
Absolutely.
I said listen as well. I agreed with that. Because
you're going to call out Andy? You're going to get on Andy and throw a baseball at him?
Was he cutting off? Is he leaving?
No.
That's so brave. Yeah.
I can't do it like can't do it like I used to. I had to go back channel there, get myself out of here. I was hoping that Harrison would bring me back on. I had no way to bring myself back on. That's ridiculous, dude.
He is the best player. He is the best.
Listen is one thing, but you don't trade away your best player when you have him under contract for 2 more years.
You
don't do it
for at least 2 more.
What do you mean?
You have a team option on him as well. I'm going to wake my children up yelling.
Listen. You could listen to other offers. You listen.
Eddie, is there?
You don't just hang up the phone. Oh, we want to trade for Ronald. You don't just hang up the phone. Are you kidding me?
Is there a player that you would get in return realistically in a trade for Ronald Acuna that you would take?
Yeah,
because if we're trading Ronald,
ring.
It wouldn't just be one; it'd be multiple players.
Hey, ring. Pick up the phone, please. I'm another GM calling about Ronald Acuna. Please, who would you like to get in return?
Let's hear what you got to say.
Look at the Braves farm system. The Braves had.
Let's go back to the Washington Nationals, who traded Juan Soto. Okay,
and look where they're at in the dumpster fire of.
I understand, but those three. I'm talking about those 3 players that they got back: All-Star, and one that's close to being an All-Star. All right, I'd take that all day long. Nah, come on, Garrett. Come on,
you do.
Go run a marathon. It's almost midnight. Go run.
There's nothing you love more, and I will stand on this till my dying day, is to hate watch the Braves. There's nothing you love more.
I don't know what hate watch means. I don't even
You
know what
love
that
watching
means.
them down 7-1, and Carlos Carrasco's out there, and you go, "Oh man, love to watch these Braves. We're really gonna battle for it this year, boys. Back to back, baby. 2021, bring
You
us
just
back."
said Carlos Carrasco. That tells me you just turn that off and move on. Go watch Atlanta United at that point.
No, you
Who
love that
cares?
shit. You love that
No,
shit.
I don't.
Hashtag
I
sweet
love
team.
this team. I love this team, and they have let us down for 2 years now, and it's been horrible.
Okay, but the
Horrible.
thing is, here's the thing, Eddie, you cannot change this team. You're not going to get rid of Austin Riley. You're not going to get rid of Matt Olson. You're not going to get rid of Ronald Acuna. You're not going to get rid of Michael Harris. You're not going to get rid of Jurison Profar. You're not going to get rid of Ozzie Albies. You
Did
can
I
get a
say
new
to get rid
shortstop.
of- Did I say to get rid of them? Did I say to get rid of any of those players?
Can
I
you
never
not get
said
rid of Ozzy? Can you not get rid of Ozzy
I
Albies?
never said get rid of those players, Paul. I said to listen when people call with trade offers. That's all. That's all.
Well, hang on. Can you not get rid of Ozzy Albies?
I mean, you could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. You need to.
Yeah, you can get rid of Ozzy. You're not going to get rid of Austin Riley and that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
I have to go back and watch that, but
Oh, dude,
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'd have to go back and rewatch that too. Probably a good call though, Alex.
that's a great.
put Phyllis's thing up there, would you? Yeah, just unbelievable.
Look, I mean, here's my take
Never
on
said
this. And
that.
this is
Phyllis
why
is
I'm
wrong.
not.
By the way, kiss my ass, Jason. I know who you are. Go ahead.
This is why I ain't on Team Blow It Up, because I remember
Jason,
watching.
I don't even see a comment from Jason. Why are we telling him to kiss your
Phyllis,
ass?
Phyllis from Lumpkin. I know who that is. His name's Jason. I know who it is. Go ahead, Harrison.
No, I mean, look, I sat through the years where the Braves blew it up and tried to rebuild the team. I'm not ready when you have one of the best players in baseball on your roster to blow it up and go over again. I don't think you've invested too much money in this team to go ahead and give up after 2 bad years. And I think there's been a lot of unluckiness last year with the injuries. I was like, okay, I'll give you the pass. This year it's been unacceptable a little bit. All right, we all talked about it.
This year
with the staff, with the pitching staff.
This year, their head coach after 0-7 said, "Look, boys, I'm hanging it up," and the rest of the team did too. It's okay. We'll get a new manager in. It's fine. That's what happened.
Who do you want the manager to be, Paul?
David
Eddie
Ross,
Acworth.
Mark Rosa, Chipper Jones. I mean,
I like the first two. David Ross. No, Chipper Jones is not coaching this team. David Ross and Mark DeRosa, I like it. But I just think the way this management is, they just Walt Weiss. He's the next Bobby Cox guy, and we just move on. I like what you said from the top. I like that because it's a change. But I don't see this team
I'd take
making
Skip
radical-
Schumacher. I'd take Skip Schumacher.
Yeah, I
Why not?
agree. I do. I would too. Andy,
Look,
who do you
I
like?
hate that
I'm fine
that
with
health
that.
has hurt him.
Like if Aaron Boone gets fired, I'm intrigued by
Yeah,
Aaron.
I
Aaron
got to
Boone.
get on that.
Yeah, I'm intrigued about Aaron Boone. That would be if
But
he
do
gets
you
fired,
think
that would be
the
my choice.
organization makes a radical move? Because that's David Ross, it's
Walt
Mark
Weiss.
DeRosa, that's Aaron Boone.
Walt
Walt
Weiss is
safe
Alex
hire.
Anthopoulos.
Eddie Perez.
Why wouldn't they? They've
Because
done.
they're not
Because
going
they don't
to
do anything radical. They do nothing radical. They're just like,
What do you mean nothing radical?
like-
They were the trendsetters in signing young players to big extensions. Ronald
Yeah.
Acuna, Ozzie Albies, and Michael Harris. Those contracts were never heard of before we did it.
Strider, yeah.
Spencer
Yeah.
Strider, like
Yeah,
we've
some
done.
of them you
radical
look back on now and you're like, I don't know about that, right?
Well, there was probably mistakes in those, now, especially with Strider.
Yes, there were mistakes in some of
Having a
those.
dead arm.
Now I understand what you're saying, Paul. I understand what you're saying, but
They were
some of those you
trendsetters
can look
now.
back on. You're right, but I mean, you can't predict injuries with Spencer Strider. I'll grant you that, right? I mean, that was signing at the time.
But
I
like, the
understand.
point we're talking about, they're probably not going to want to go outside of the Braves way. They're not going to want to give someone that hasn't been in the organization for 10, 15 years or whatever.
It's that Bobby Cox tree. They just stick to it. It seems like.
But now
We'll see.
Anthopoulos is not part of the Bobby Cox tree, so he may be a guy
Correct.
that will go out. The only problem, I don't care who he hires. If it's Walt Weiss, I don't care who it is. I just want to make sure he gets a guy and lets the manager select his coaches and lets the manager do the job. I don't want him meddling. That's my only concern is he's calling all the shots from above the booth. So
Have you guys run through real quick? Have you guys run through Georgia's schedule for this year? Win loss.
all right, what you got?
No,
Bust.
we
Get
can
it up
do
right
that. We can do
Yeah,
that.
we
Let's
haven't-
end with that.
Close
But,
the
hey,
show.
just take over the show. Paul's just taking over the show, Harrison. Why don't you just go off and blow your nose and let Harrison and let Paul run the show, Harrison?
For old time's sake. Well, we got 6 minutes.
My
Or
God.
I guess 4 minutes now.
Andy, bust out the Excel spreadsheet, bust out the schedule for us, and we'll run through it real quick, boys.
Okay, I got.
What are we doing here?
Here we go.
Win-loss.
Win-loss, yeah.
First week of
Lock
the
in.
season.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Beautiful.
Professional. All right, Paul. Obviously, you say they're going to win against Marshall.
Yep.
Eddie, you say they're winning. Harrison, you say they're winning. I say they're winning.
Absolutely. First 2 games are easy.
Okay. All right. Versus Tennessee. Paul, what you got?
I don't want to go first on
He's,
these. You guys.
he's already pausing. That's a win.
Yeah, I'm in the Hypel can't beat smart till I see it.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it as well.
All right. Harrison. And of course I got, you know who I got in that one. So.
Y'all are about to throw stones at me. Again, I got to see Georgia beat Alabama before I predict Georgia beat Alabama.
I'm not throwing stones at you. I'm 100% with you. That's a loss.
Okay.
We lose to Alabama. The home winning streak ends on September 27th. Till I see it.
Paul?
Well, I'm glad y'all are confident, but I don't see it.
That's not the same Alabama.
I don't care.
They have Caden Proctor
on the helmet.
They may have the best offensive line. They're going to have an offensive line that's great. They don't have a halfback that I'm worried about, that I'm thinking, oh, my God, we can't stop them. Kirby Smart will not lose 2 games in a row to not happening.
I'll throw this out here. The only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is Ty Simpson.
Yep.
Is probably Paul. You're probably faster and more mobile than Ty Simpson. That gives us a absolute chance. Right?
I love that.
Mobile quarterbacks have killed this team, and Jalen Milroe looked like an MVP for the first half last year. That's not going to be the case with Ty Simpson. So I'll give him the edge there. But until Georgia beats Bama, I got to see it.
I'll tell you one thing. That game, if you're so lucky to go to that game in Sanford Stadium, it's going to be crazy in there.
Wildest place ever.
That whole weekend, Thursday through Sunday, is going to be a madhouse downtown.
Give me Georgia.
Kalen DeBoer will not beat Kirby Smart 2 times
in Athens at a 7:30 kick. No,
not going to happen. Under the lights, the Dogs. Mm-hmm. Not only do they win by double digits. So.
Ooh,
Paul Maharry,
I hope you're right.
Kentucky, Paul Maharry, Kentucky.
So this is a tricky game.
It is.
If this game was at home, I know. Let me talk. Damn it! If this game was at Kentucky, I would say a loss. Let me get a close win here, boys. Let me get a close win.
I got Georgia by a lot, Kentucky by a little. Georgia destroys Kentucky at home. That's been the trend. I think that continues.
I think you're stupid, Paul. This is a 21-point win. Yeah, we killed.
Bookmark that shit, Harrison, right now. Bookmark that and play that back. Play that back on your PSPH on Sunday, October 5th. Bookmark that.
Paul Maharry.
Andy. Wait.
You know I got them beating Kentucky at home.
Dude, Andy's got them going 17-0. They're going to beat the Falcons the last week of the season.
I think they could beat the Falcons. Falcons suck anyway. But week 7th game of the year, Kentucky, or I'm sorry, at Auburn, under the lights. I'm sure it's going to be. Paul Maharry, what happens?
Gosh, I think it's a win. I think people are reading into this too much. I don't. They've got some really good wide receivers, but
they do.
Maybe the best. What's his name? Hugh Freeze is
Singleton. Yeah,
but Hugh Freeze isn't picking a quarterback right now. He says he's going to play all 3 of them against Baylor.
Yeah,
if you got 3 quarterbacks, you got 1.
I think they're getting beat by Baylor personally. I think
if you got 3 quarterbacks, you don't have 1. Give me Georgia here.
Harrison,
I'm with Paul. I know there's nightmares in Jordan Hare, but until Hugh Freeze finds a quarterback and Auburn finds a pulse, I think Georgia wins.
And they could by this point. This is halfway through the season. They could find a guy, but. I don't know. I saw those like young kids doing the little thing saying like Georgia doesn't scare them coming into Jordan Hare and all that. Like, I don't see this team. I think this is a 9.5 point favorite for Georgia in that game.
Was Peyton Thorne scary?
No.
Oh, well, he had Georgia on the ropes last time we played there.
Are you predicting
the loss?
Look, there's always an Auburn.
Georgia loses this football game to Auburn. I'm predicting it right now. Yep. That's a loss. They will figure out their quarterback. Jordan Hare is an awful place to go at night. This is horrible. This is a horrible matchup for us. After Kentucky, before Ole Miss, I think we lose to Auburn.
Okay.
There's your second loss.
Next.
Damn, you already got 2. So you got 2 losses before November.
Yes.
Yep.
He's got 2 losses mid-October. All right. So we step over into the pitiful part of the year for Georgia because we suck so bad. Ole Miss coming into Athens. Who you got, Mr. Maharry?
I don't know. I've got this banner. And it cheers my soul. No, you can keep it up. I really loved it, Harrison. Thank you. Eddie Hate watches Georgia now. Yes.
Stupid. I
Ole
still don't
Miss-
even know what that means.
Ole Miss and Athens.
Gosh, this is turning out to be. I think I'm picking Georgia to win too many football games.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
That's wild to say over the last few years, but I guess it's not too crazy with the schedule.
I guess a win. Take me for a win.
Harrison, who you got?
Ole Miss hasn't traveled well historically under Lane Kiffin. I don't expect them to travel well here. I mean, maybe it is a more competitive game than the last time they came to Athens. But we're talking about a revenge game for Kirby. I think there's that competitiveness between these two. They may be friends, but I'm sure Kirby does not want to lose to Lane Kiffin twice in a row.
Eddie?
Georgia wins.
This is a blowout. I agree. This is a revenge game. And coming into our place, Kirby's had this circled after the dancing. What was that? Pope dancing with his teammates on the sideline after the loss. My God, this is going to be a blowout.
Lane Kiffin sold his soul to the devil last year to beat Georgia. That was the only game they cared about, and then they go get beat by other teams. It ain't happening this year in Athens. Dogs.
Man, Eddie is catching heat.
It's okay. That's okay. Somebody called me Don Imus earlier. Y'all probably don't even know who that is. I'm proud of that. I love Don Imus.
I love Don
Imus. My hero.
Josh, you have no
He's
idea.
awesome.
Josh, Eddie would love to watch this team go 0-12. You have no idea.
God, that's just not true.
All right. I'm trying to get you out of here, Paul. We got Florida Gators after a bye week of Ole Miss. Who you got, Eddie?
Win for Georgia. Win for Georgia,
We're
but
gonna beat Florida again.
Lagway's a tough son of a gun, dude.
Will he be healthy though? That guy can't stay healthy.
He might not even play in that game. Yeah, might not be around.
Right.
If Lagway's healthy, this game scares me a little bit for Georgia.
Yeah.
If Lagway's healthy,
Sure.
there's the storyline of like Quinn Ewers versus Alabama the first time. He got hurt, and Texas fans never forgot about it.
Yep.
Then he goes down there and beats Alabama. If Lagway's healthy and plays to his potential, this could be trouble. But when you have to question a quarterback's health, I can't pick them to beat Georgia in good faith right now. May change later, but I have Georgia winning this game right now. But I think it's going to be a close one.
Okay. Next week at Mississippi State Bulldogs. The
That's a
Bizarre
win.
Bulldogs.
Let's just move on.
This is
Move on.
W
All right.
across the board, right?
After
Unanimous.
that, coming into Athens, Texas, #1 team, the greatest quarterback of all time, Arch Manning. He's going to win every record. He's going to set them all under the line.
You guys really hate Texas, and I understand it, and hate the hype Arch Manning is getting.
It's the hype train. It's the
But
propaganda.
I think he's going to be pretty good, boys.
I agree.
I think their defense is pretty good,
Well,
boys.
pretty good is one thing, Paul, but to be like what they're talking about is ridiculous. Come on. That's two different things.
Yes, I think the hype has gone a little too far, but also if you're going to hype anybody up, he's got the head for it. I mean, he's not getting big headed on it.
Shoot, his
Give
uncle's
me
good.
Texas.
Texas taking the win in Athens, according to Paul Maharry.
Okay.
Eddie from Acworth, what do you think is going to happen?
Georgia wins this football game. We got Texas a number. We are their Bama. If I said that right?
Yeah. I got you. Harrison, what happens if Texas Longhorns come to town?
This is tough. Really tough. If Texas is still the #1 team coming into
Say it with
Athens,
your
it
chest,
makes me all the more confidence that Georgia's going to come out and play one of its better football games. I mean, it's going to be mid-November. Playoffs are around the corner. Great teams get better as the year goes on, and great teams start showing up around November. If Georgia's going to be a great team, they win this football game, especially after losing to Alabama in September. I have Georgia right now, but then again, this one could be subject to change.
What if Texas comes into this game undefeated?
Hold on.
Does that change your mindset, Harrison?
We didn't get an answer.
Yeah, Harrison said loss. Harrison said Georgia beats.
I know.
Tech. Yeah. Right?
If Texas is undefeated coming into this game, I feel it turns out the same way the Tennessee game did in 22.
Okay.
I mean, look what they did to Texas and Austin. I mean, when Texas was the number one team. I don't think you want to play Georgia if you're the number one team. I just don't, unless you're Alabama. I just don't think you want to do it.
Did I miss his answer?
He said Georgia beats.
You tuned me out. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got Georgia beat him. I have the one loss of the year coming from Texas. I think Texas beats Georgia in Athens because, like I said earlier, I don't think Kirby will lose to Kalen DeBoer back to back.
This is your first loss, right?
My first loss. I think that Sark will find a way. I think it'll be close. Find a way to win the first matchup versus the Dogs in Athens. Moving on to next week, we all got Charlotte. Of course, we all got wins. Final game of the year versus Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Paul Maharry, what do you got?
It's gonna be a close one again, but Georgia takes it.
Eddie,
do you think that do you think where we're playing matters, Paul? Does that weigh into this at all?
Playing damn, backyard. I don't give a.
No, if we were at Bobby Dodd, do you think that changes your opinion?
It would be like 33,000 people. It don't make any noise. Bobby Dodd doesn't.
Yeah. No, I don't think
different.
So. I think Tech wants revenge from last year, and I think Tech probably gets into the ACC championship, but I don't think they beat Georgia.
Okay. Harrison, who you got?
I got Georgia in this game.
And I got Georgia as well.
Same.
So I got Georgia 11-1. Paul has Georgia what? 11-1 or 10-2?
Me and Paul have the same schedule, 11-1, losing to Texas.
So. Eddie has them going 7-5.
And I'm rooting for the more losses. I'm rooting for more.
He can't wait till about
asshole.
He can't wait till about 7:05 on Saturday, August 30th to see Georgia get upset by Marshall. He's marked it on his calendar. He can't wait to see it.
All right. Well, we're a little bit over time. We're 8 minutes late on Mr. Paul Maharry's bedtime. Paul, we appreciate you for coming back to join the show. Again, we appreciate you for coming back. And even when you're on your deathbed with this sickness, he had a Jordan flu game performance tonight.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all.
I don't know about that.
You can't be serious, Eddie. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for tonight's edition of the Peach State Power Hour. We'll be back live at 7:30 here on Sunday night. Make sure to come join us. Maybe Mr. Paul will be in the chat joining all tonight. We appreciate everybody who kicked in with their comments tonight and chipped in with, whether you agreed with us or whether you didn't. We appreciate y'all for being here. We'll be back next Sunday, 7:30 after a Dogs football game.
Yep.
How great does that sound?
It doesn't sound good for Eddie. I'll tell you that. We'll see you then.
That's the last word. I'm ending this.